Hi everybody, just a quick update on what I've been doing. I think it's been a couple of weeks, I suppose. First of all, something a bit different, well, something I keep sort of dipping into briefly. Some early Imperial Romans, and this is a ballista. It's New Line Designs. Nice little set actually. Nice crew with it, like this fella with the basket of rocks and stuff, and this fella carrying some ammo. Really nice little set. As you can see, I've only just got started on it really. Looks like it'd be a good little set when it's done. I've left some holes there to fit these crew on the base. So yeah, should be a nice little set that when it's done. Just done the skin tones basically, and started doing the ballista itself. But yeah, looks like a good set that. Again, New Line Designs. Nice figure. So that's that. Then back to French-Indian War, which is, well, I'm not sorry to say, but it has actually become my main focus again. Still doing Napoleonics, but I can't resist these. It all happened when I got some figures through from a Kickstarter I pledged to for Galloping Major. I mean, I basically had packed all my Galloping Major figures and French-Indian War stuff away, because as I keep saying, I'm planning to move, and that's not happening yet, not happened anywhere near as quickly as I thought. So I packed stuff away thinking, you know, I'll just keep a few bits out because I only thought it'd be a few months and it'd be gone. But as it turned out, it's been nearly a year now and we still haven't progressed. And like I say, I'd packed all my stuff, I'd packed loads of stuff away. So I hadn't looked at my French-Indian War for a long time. And then these figures came through and it just set me off again. So I've dug out all my Galloping Major stuff, and I've got a few bits from Redoubt as well, because they're similar scale to Galloping Major, because Galloping Major are big figures as I mentioned last time. So yeah, dug them all out. Couldn't resist painting them. These are ones actually that I just ordered recently, because when the figures came through from the Kickstarter, Lance, who's the head of Galloping Major, had an offer of like 10% off any orders for people who'd pledged on the Kickstarter. So I thought, well, there was a set of militia I wanted. It was like a mixture of militia and Mohawk Indians. So this is like one pack from that set, coming packs of 6. So yeah, this is the first pack of militia. I think you get 2 packs of militia, pack of settlers, and a pack of Mohawks. Might be 3 packs of militia, I can't remember actually, but anyway. So this is the first lot painted of militia, stuck to sort of drabbish tones, you know, browns, greys, that kind of thing. As you would think militia would most likely dress in. I mean, there is a command set for the militia. I'll probably give them a bit of colour, you know, maybe give them green or red, blue coats, whatever, because you know, some of them might be, you know, former soldiers or whatever. But I'll probably give the militia at least the actual commander coloured coat, but the rest of them I'm going to keep pretty much like this. Turn around a bit so you can see. Really nice figures, fantastic figures. Yeah, I love painting them. I think I might do a bit more to the skin tones. I mean, I used to do, you know, quite a lot of detail on skin tones, like for, you know, fantasy things like Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, that kind of thing, 40k. But when it came to historicals, I just got into the habit of skin tone, wash, one highlight. Don't bother with the eyes or anything like that. But you know, these are quite, like I say, big figures. Got big faces. Why not say they're just big? You know, they're big and bold. There's more there. I mean, when you look at some of the other miniatures, that are not finer faces, and there's just a bit more to these. So I'm thinking I might touch up the faces a bit more on those. Maybe just give them a bit more. But yeah, loving doing this. So yeah, that's Anglo-American Militia. Next thing, which I'm part way through, which were from not the Kickstarter I just got, but the one I did before from Galloper Major, and these are British line 60th foot. Sort of getting there on these now, not too far off, to be honest. Getting a lot of shadow here, but trying to, yeah, that shows them a bit better. Yeah, I've pretty much done the blue and the red. Now I'm just going over doing like the cross belts and equipment, really. Blackening the parts for the buttons. Yeah, just blacking them in, ready for the sort of metallic bits. These aren't too far from being done. I mean, I'm using a Vallejo colour for the straps called Africa. Nope. Highlight British Tank Crew, which I think works well as a colour for the straps and belts and things. So yeah, basically I'm just going around now, doing the details. These leggings on campaign, they were usually, I think, sort of black or brown. I've seen instances of them in green, because a lot of them more like the Indian leggings like this guy's got on here. So I'm doing all mine in brown and green. I mean, I think non-campaign they're probably white, but yeah, still getting a bit of shadow here. I don't think that's helped much. But yeah, I think you get the impression anyway. So, not sure about the red, if it's too dark. I might put another highlight on them. I've basically used Vallejo Black Red and given that a wash with Citadel's Carabao Crimson. Then gone that highlight of dark red, and then I think I've used, that was Vallejo Dark Red, and then Vallejo Dark Vermilion. But I might put one more highlight on the red, perhaps. I'll see. I don't want to sort of overdo it or end up having it looking, you know, too pale. Yeah, enjoying these. So that's the 60th foot. That's just one pack. This is all part of a. I dug out my musket and tomahawks rulebook, and I've made up two forces, British and French. And so this and the militia are part of that force. I'm basically going to have 2 units of these 60th foot or British Line, and that's 2 units of 12. And the militia, you can do either like 200, 400, 600 points. I've gone for the maximum because I've got loads of figures I want to use. So yeah, I'm having 2 lots of 12 of 60th foot, and then I'm going to have 3 groups of 6 of the militia. And I'm going to have a group of rangers who are a bit more elite, more expensive. And it's either 2 or 3 groups of 6 of Mohawk Indians. So it's a good mixture. I mean, that's one thing I like about this French Indian War, the different sort of forces you can use and paint. There's loads of variety in it, so I really like it. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much what the British force is going to be, as far as I can remember off the top of my head. But yeah, so I'm going to I don't know if I'm going to concentrate on one like the British force, or maybe start doing a unit of British and a unit of French. So those, and I think finally something I've got nowhere with so far, but yeah, I mentioned I dug out all my Galloping Major figures. I originally based everything on square bases, and I've since come to prefer circular. So all these, I mean, I've got loads of Galloping Majors sort of at this stage put on a base and undercoated, but like I say, they're all on square bases. These are, oh, what happened there? These are French Canadian militia. Like I say, they were on square bases, but I didn't want to re-undercoat them, so I just took them off the bases, fixed them to these plastic round ones, and put milliput on the base. Didn't bother sort of respraying them because you can just paint straight onto this milliput anyway. So, and I just happened to have undercoated these white because I think when I did them, I'd run out of black, which I used to use exclusively. And I was glad that happened, because I've now found that I prefer, I mean, I don't use white generally, but that's all I had at the time, but I found I prefer grey or white to black, because I can sort of see the detail better with white or grey. I say grey is what I use mostly. So yeah, that's why these are in white. But yeah, French Canadian militia. Now they come in like groups of 8. I think the French force is going to be 2 groups of these Canadian militia, and 2 groups of 12 of the French. Now, my French is awful, but I believe it's Compagnie Française de la Marines. So they were basically French soldiers, been sent over to North America and trained in the sort of woodland and sort of guerrilla-ish type of style of fighting, but they also retained their basic military European style of you know, firing lines and all that, so they could do both. But yeah, the Canadian militia are actually a different animal to the Anglo-American militia. The Anglo-American militia are sort of what you'd expect them to be. They, you know, knew how to use a gun. They could fight, but they weren't that well trained. They were, you know, just sort of thrown together to defend settlements and stuff. Canadian militia are a different thing altogether. They were actually they'd integrated, well, basically France had integrated better with Native Americans than Britain. Britain went over there thinking, the natives can't teach us anything, we'll just continue fighting the proper way, you know, drills, lines, firing lines, discipline. Whereas French went over there, were more amenable to the natives, and actually learned from them how to, you know, not just fight but survive in the that environment, the forests, woodlands, lakes, everything. And they learned from the Indians, and they also didn't upset the Indians as much as the British. They sort of tried to live alongside them a bit better. So Canadian militia they spent a lot of time with Indians and learnt their ways. There's actually another level up, game terms, of Canadian militia called coureurs de bois, who were basically these, who'd actually spent even more time, pretty much living with Indians and trading with them. So they were really sort of almost as close to being Indian as you could be, without being actually Indian. So yeah, been an interesting lot to do. I'm going to do these, paint these mostly in, I'm thinking, tan colours, I think. Not sure yet. Probably some, I don't know, it could be a mix of anything actually. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with these. Buckskin type colours I think I'm going to be going for. And a bit of blue and red thrown in there, like some of the hats and sashes and things. But Galloping Major's got a bit on their site with a sort of the way he's painted them, so I'm going to have a look at that. Might order some more foundry paint as well, because they've got some good colours for, like linen colours and green mossy colours that I don't seem to have. I wouldn't mind ordering some more foundry stuff. But yeah, that's basically those. That's where I am at the moment. Yeah, hope you like them. Anyway, I'm planning to do a video, keep saying it, of sort of mentions for some other channels, because there's a few I've been following in who are sort of on the lower end of subscriber numbers, and they're doing some really good stuff. So I want to do a video, I'll mention some of them, and a couple of thank yous to Leon and Reese, whose channel is Busy Bristles. He's just sent me some Zulu War stuff because we've been talking about that. I'm quite keen on that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm going to sort of show what I've got from Leon and Reese in another video. But yeah, so thanks to those two anyway. Yeah, Leon sent me some World War II Russian Cossack cavalry, but I haven't assembled any of them yet. So I thought I'm going to wait until I've put a few of those together. I need some cavalry bases, so I've got to order some. So I thought I'll get them put together and then show what he and Reese have both sent me, and yeah, and do some mentions. That'll be the next video. But I think that's about it for now. Yeah, like I say, I'm enjoying this French Indian War. Haven't abandoned Napoleonics. I am determined to do both. I'm going to go back to the Spanish Dragoons I was doing. I'll just grab one actually and show you. Yeah, Spanish Dragoon. I'm not sure if I'm entirely happy with the yellow uniform. Don't know, it looks a bit kind of blotchy. So I might use different colours. I used yellow tan as the base, I think. And I don't know. Maybe I need to have the thing completely finished to sort of judge whether I'm happy with it. I think that's probably more the case. But yeah, I'm thinking of redoing the yellow. I'm happy with the saddle and everything, but it's just the uniform. I'm not too sure about the yellow on that. So I don't know. But yeah, I might just finish the whole thing up properly and then decide from there. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I'm going to get back to Napoleonics and yeah, go from there. So pretty much that's about it. Take care, everybody. Thanks for subscribing and watching and commenting. See you later.